Hello, Swatantra TV viewers. I am Mahima, welcoming you to our English bulletin with latest news, updates, and analysis. In a jolt to the Aam Aadmi Party, Delhi Minister Rajkumar Anand on Wednesday resigned from the cabinet and quit the AAP, alleging that the party is embroiled in corruption. It meant that cracks have begun to surface in AAP. Addressing a media conference, Anand, a Dalit leader who held portfolios of social welfare in the Arvind Kejriwal government, also alleged that Dalits were not given representation in the party. The Aam Aadmi Party claimed Anand's resignation vindicated its stand that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's arrest was aimed at finishing the party and accused the BJP of using the ED and the CBI to break its ministers and MLAs. The BJP hit back, claiming the minister's resignation revealed AAP's corrupt ways and how the entire party extorts like mafias. On Tuesday, the Delhi High Court dismissed Kejriwal's petition challenging his arrest, saying there was no contravention of legal provisions. Addressing a press conference soon after Anand resigned, AAP Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh lashed out at the BJP, alleging it was misusing probe agencies against Aam Aadmi Party MLAs and ministers. The reason behind Arvind Kejriwal's arrest is the destruction of AAP. The sole reason behind the investigations and raids by Enforcement Directorate is to destroy the AAP. BJP is a criminal party which has been doing this type of hooliganism, he alleged. In November last year, the Enforcement Directorate raided the premises of Anand and some others as part of a money laundering probe.
मैं दिल्ली सरकार में मंत्री हूं, मेरे पास 7 पोर्टफोलियो है, लेकिन आज मैं बहुत व्यथित हूं, इसलिए आप लोगों को मैं अपना दुख साझा करने आया। मैं राजनीति में जब आया था, जब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने कहा था कि राजनीति बदलेगी तो देश बदलेगा, लेकिन आज बड़े अफसोस के साथ कहना पड़ रहा है कि राजनीति तो नहीं बदली, लेकिन राजनेता बदल गए। आम आदमी पार्टी का जन्म ही भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ आंदोलन से हुआ था, लेकिन आज ये पार्टी खुद भ्रष्टाचार के दलदल में फंसी। मेरे लिए मंत्री पद पर रहकर इस सरकार में काम करना असहज हो गया है। मैं अब इस पार्टी, इस सरकार और अपने मंत्री पद से इस्तीफा दे रहा हूं, क्योंकि मैं इन भ्रष्ट आचरणों में अपना नाम नहीं जुड़वाना चाहता। मैं नहीं समझता कि हमारे पास शासन करने की कोई नैतिक ताकत बच गई। बाबा साहेब डॉक्टर भीमराव अम्बेडकर ने पे बैक टू सोसाइटी का जीवन मंत्र दिया था। उसी के वजह से मैं एक व्यापारी होते हुए भी एनजीओज में आया, एमएलए बना, जनप्रतिनिधि बना, मंत्री बना के लोगों की सेवा होगी। और मैं यहाँ आया ताकि पे बैक टू सोसाइटी को सच्चे अर्थों में साकार कर सकूं। इसी उद्देश्य से मैं आम आदमी पार्टी और अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के साथ खड़ा हुआ, जो बाबा साहेब के आदर्शों पर चलने की बात कर। बाबा साहेब का फोटो हर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, हर सरकारी दफ्तर पर लगा।
Reacting to BJP's repeated Muslim League imprint barb over the Congress manifesto, Rahul Gandhi on Wednesday said history is witness as to who joined hands with the forces that wanted to divide the country and asserted that history does not change by spewing lies from political platforms. Gandhi said that the 2024 Lok Sabha polls are a fight between two ideologies, with the Congress, which has always united India, on one side and those who have always tried to divide people on the other side. This election is a fight between two ideologies. On one side there is the Congress, which has always united India, and on the other side there are those who have always tried to divide people, he said in a post in Hindi. Who stood with the British during the Quit India movement? When India's jails were filled with Congress leaders, then who was running the government in the states with the forces that divided the country, he said. History does not change by spewing lies from political platforms, he added. Gandhi's remarks come amid repeated attacks by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that the Congress manifesto bears a Muslim League imprint. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday launched a stinging attack on the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu, accusing it of indulging in hate and divisive politics, being synonymous with corruption and having no concern for the state's development. Addressing election rallies in the state's Vellore and Mettupalayam ahead of 19th April Lok Sabha polls, he also strongly criticized Congress, calling the National Party and DMK family parties. The Dravidian Party had the first copyright on corruption and the family was intent on looting the state, he said in an apparent reference to the party's first family, headed by its president and chief minister M.K. Stalin. The DMK has the first copyright on corruption. The entire family is looting Tamil Nadu, he said. He further charged the DMK with being a family company that was impeding the progress of the state's youth with its old mindset. DMK divides people over language, region, faith and caste. DMK knows that the day people see through this, it will not get a single vote.
डीएमके पार्टी की पॉलिटिक्स का मुख्य आधार है डिवाइड, डिवाइड और डिवाइड। ये पार्टी देश के लोगों को भाषा के नाम पर लड़ाती है, क्षेत्र के नाम पर लड़ाती है, धर्म और जाति के नाम पर लड़ाती है। डीएमके को पता है कि जिस दिन लोग डिवाइड एंड रूल की पॉलिटिक्स समझ गए, ये डीएमके को एक वोट नहीं मिलेगा, एक वोट। इसलिए ये लोग को आपस में लड़ाते हैं। मैंने भी ठान लिया है कि डीएमके की इस दशकों पुरानी खतरनाक पॉलिटिक्स को एक्सपोज करके ही रहूंगा।
Kejriwal moves Supreme Court against arrest, seeks urgent hearing. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud on Wednesday said he will look into Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's request for an early listing of his plea against Delhi High Court order upholding his arrest. He asked Kejriwal's lawyer to send an email. Earlier in the day, Kejriwal moved the Supreme Court against 9th April judgment of the High Court. This is urgent and is regarding the Delhi Chief Minister. The arrest is based on an unreliable document, Singhvi said. The Delhi High Court on Tuesday upheld Kejriwal's arrest in a money laundering case stemming from the alleged excise policy scam, saying the Enforcement Directorate was left with little option after he skipped repeated summonses and refused to join the investigation. A single-judge bench of Justice Swarna Kanta Sharma also cited the Enforcement Directorate's claim that Kejriwal conspired and was actively involved in the use and concealment of the proceeds of crime to reject his petition against his arrest. It chastised the AAP leader, claimed to have been involved in money laundering in his personal capacity and in his capacity as the national convener of the political party, for questioning the timing of his arrest and underlined that an investigation against the classes and masses cannot be different. The Supreme Court on Wednesday refused to accept the affidavits filed by Yoga Guru Ramdev and Managing Director of Patanjali Ayurved Balkrishna tendering unconditional apologies over publishing misleading advertisements, asserting they did so when caught on the wrong foot. The court also came down hard on the state licensing authority for its inaction on the issue and said it is not going to take it lightly. The apex court observed that after notices to show cause were issued to them and they were directed to present themselves before it, Ramdev and Balkrishna attempted to wriggle out of the situation where personal presence was warranted. It is most unacceptable, the court said. The apex court observed that after notices to show cause were issued to them and they were directed to present themselves before it, Ramdev and Balkrishna attempted to wriggle out of the situation where personal presence was warranted. It is most unacceptable, the court said. former Task Force Deputy Commissioner of Police P. Radha Kishan Rao, who has been arrested in the illegal phone tapping case in Telangana, and 2 other policemen have been booked by the Jubilee Hills Police for alleged extortion and kidnapping. A case against Radha Kishan Rao and some individuals was registered based on the complaint by Kriya Healthcare founder Venumadhav Chenopti. The complainant said that he was forced by the former Deputy Commissioner of Police, an Inspector of Police, and a Sub-Inspector of Police to give up the ownership of Kriya Healthcare and transfer the property to his adversaries. Venumadhav complained to Jubilee Hills Police after Radha Kishan Rao's recent arrest in the phone tapping case. A case has been registered under sections 386, 365, 341, and 120(b), along with section 34 of the Indian Penal Code. On Wednesday, a Nampally court extended the remand of Radha Kishan Rao until 12 April in the phone tapping case. The police brought Rao to court as his remand ends on Wednesday after conducting medical tests in Gandhi Hospital. In the court, he complained to the judge about jail authorities not permitting him to use the jail library and to meet with the jail's superintendent. The matter came to light after a deputy superintendent of police, Praneeth Rao, was arrested initially for allegedly illegally phone tapping numbers of opposition parties. The names of tapped phones also reportedly included current Congress Chief Minister Revant Reddy, who was then leader of the opposition. Radha Kishan Rao is also accused of facilitating the illegal transport of cash at the behest of Bharat Rashtra Samiti during the November 2023 Assembly elections, which the Congress won.
ఈయన మూడో అయినా కదా కదా ఎంతమంది అసలైన ఈయన అసలైన
Anil Ambani suffers another setback. The 64-year-old Anil Ambani, 64, suffered another setback with the Supreme Court setting aside a 8,000 crore rupees arbitral award that was granted in favor of a firm of his group. The award was in relation to a dispute arising out of a concession agreement that was entered into between Dampal, a subsidiary of Anil Ambani's Reliance Infrastructure, and Delhi Metro Rail Corp in 2008. The court asked Dampal to refund all sums previously paid by the Delhi Metro Rail in accordance with the arbitral award. The DMRC had paid 3,300 crore rupees to the Reliance Infra arm, which now needs to be refunded. Anil Ambani's Reliance Infrastructure Ltd in a stock exchange filing that no liability has been imposed on it by the Supreme Court order. Reliance Infrastructure sought to clarify that the order dated 10 April 2024, passed by the Supreme Court, does not impose any liability on the company and the company has not received any money from DMRC or Dampal under the arbitral award, it said. While Dampal is a subsidiary of Reliance Infrastructure, it is a separate entity and the liability falls on it. Chief Electoral Officer Mukesh Kumar Meena asked the representatives of the oil industries to create awareness among the people about the right to vote through petrol stations across the state. On Wednesday, he held a meeting with the representatives of the oil industries like HPCL, IOCL, and BPCL in his chamber at the Secretariat and discussed the conduct of voter awareness programs. On this occasion, Meena said that as part of the Systematic Voters Education and Electoral Participation Program, the Election Commission of India has ordered that voter awareness programs should also be conducted by the oil industry. Voter awareness programs have already been undertaken by the Postal Department. Designs of hoardings with Election Commission of India logo and slogans conveying the election date and the value of the right to vote will be provided. He requested that hoardings should be set up at all the petrol stations across the state. YSRCP Chief and Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy on Monday said here that no state government in India can compete with the YSRCP government in terms of providing welfare to the poor. But Telugu Desam Party Chief N. Chandrababu Naidu is making fake news to mislead the public, he cautioned the people. Speaking at a huge rally at Piduguralla in Andhra Pradesh as part of electioneering on 12 days of Bus Yatra, Jagan Mohan Reddy reacted angrily to the falsehood being spread by Naidu against his government. He pointed out that the YSRCP government gave jobs to 130,000 people after it came to power 5 years ago. The villages and ward secretariats were established to ensure the distribution of pensions, rice and other commodities at the doorstep of people in villages. The government has also filled 54,000 posts in the health sector. It is only the YSRCP government that is providing farmers with investment assistance like no one else, and every farmer is getting 67,500 rupees per year. Free crop insurance for farmers is not mentioned in the manifesto, but I did it for the good of the farmers. In fact, in most cases, the government has given more than the minimum. A total of 35 lakh house documents with permanent rights have been given to the poor. Is that the wrong thing? Village secretariats, Nadunadu schools, hospitals. .5 lakh government school students appear for TOEFL exam in AP. Over 4.5 lakh government school students in Andhra Pradesh appeared for test of English as a foreign language examination on Wednesday, said an official. The students belonged to classes 3 to V from 13,104 schools across the state. The TOEFL exam for classes 3rd to 5th was successfully conducted for 453 to 65 students in 13,104 schools. It was overwhelming to see students studying in the schools located in far-flung tribal areas and remote rural areas participating in the exam. Further, he said arrangements are being made to conduct the examination for more than 16.5 lakh students of classes 6 to 9 from 5907 schools on 12 April. Prakash noted that successful students will be awarded certificates by the Education Testing Service. The Andhra Pradesh government and Princeton-based Education Testing Service have signed an agreement on 23 June 2023 to offer customized English assessments for government school students. This collaboration is aimed at fortifying the English language skills of lakhs of students, which could aid in promoting academic excellence. Sensex closes above record 75K mark, Nifty hits new peak. benchmark Sensex climbed 354 points to close above the record 75,000 mark for the first time, while broader Nifty scaled a fresh lifetime high on Wednesday on gains in FMCG, energy, and metal shares. The 30-share BSE Sensex climbed 354.45 points or 0.47% to settle at an all-time high of 75,038.15. During the day, the index spurted 421.44 points or 0.56% to hit a high of 75,105.14. Broader Nifty of the NSE advanced by 111.05 points or 0.49% to close at a record peak of 22,753.80. During the day, it jumped 132.95 points or 0.58% to reach a lifetime intraday peak of 22,775.70. Key indices hit intraday lifetime high levels on Tuesday, with Sensex scaling the historic 75,000 mark for the first time but closed in the red following profit booking in index major Reliance Industries. Investors' attention remains fixated on the release of the Federal Open Market Committee minutes and U.S. inflation data later on Wednesday, Nair added. From the Sensex basket, ITC, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bharti Airtel, State Bank of India, Asian Paints, Tech Mahindra, Reliance Industries and Nestle were the major gainers. Maruti, HDFC Bank, Larsen & Toubro and Mahindra were among the laggards. Utilities and auto were the laggards. Cong announces candidates for 6 LS, 12 assembly seats in AP. The Congress on Wednesday announced the names of candidates for 6 more Lok Sabha constituencies and 12 assembly seats in Andhra Pradesh. As per the decision of the party's Central Election Committee, former Tirupati MP C. Mohan will contest the Lok Sabha election from the same reserved constituency, and K. Raju is the candidate for Nellore segment. P. Satyanarayan Reddy is the candidate from Vishakhapatnam Lok Sabha constituency, V. Venkatesh from Ankappalli, K. Lavanya from Illuru and G. Alexander Sudhakar from Narsaraopeta, said AICC General Secretary K. C. Venugopal in a press release. Out of the 12 assembly candidates, two turncoats K. Kriparani and M. S. Babu found place in the list. Former Union Minister Kriparani, who recently jumped ship from YSRCP to Congress, will contest from Tekkili constituency, and Babu from Putlapattu, among others. On 2nd April, Andhra Pradesh Congress Committee President Y. S. Sharmila had announced the names of candidates for 5 Lok Sabha and 114 assembly seats. With today's announcement, Congress announced the names of candidates for 126 Assembly and 11 Lok Sabha candidates, while it also struck a seat-sharing deal with the CPI, which will contest in 1 Lok Sabha and 8 Assembly seats. Thank you for watching Swatantra TV English Bulletin. For a complete and comprehensive English news bulletin, please do watch Swatantra TV every day. This is Mahima, signing off. Keep watching Swatantra TV.